Yo, check it out. Okay, today is Tuesday, February 26th, right? Now, I'm just here in my house, and I stumble across again this video. Now, a lot of you guys have probably seen it. It's a video of this class. This class lines up on a line, and the teacher's like, yo, we're gonna race for this $100 bill. Right? And everybody's like, oh yeah, people are ready. And then he asks a series of questions, and everybody who answers yes to this question takes 2 steps forward, right? And then he talks about how the people in front need to be aware of their privilege. Mind you, I'm paraphrasing at this point. I haven't watched it in a little minute, so I kind of got annoyed, but I wanted to talk about it. First off, this is technically a true video. Let me start there. There are people that have privilege. That you are privileged. Nothing that you have done has allowed you to get to this point, or that has allowed you to be successful in some point or another. But you are, and that's a thing. That's a real thing. So in that saying, this video is correct. But my qualm is in what the video neglects to tell. This guy, he goes on, he asks a whole bunch of questions, as I said. And then, he correctly says, there's nothing that you've done that's put you in this, and you need to recognize that. And yes, again, this is all true. But here's the kicker. In this race called life, first of all, this race called life isn't short. Let's start right there. Like, it's not as short as it looks in the thing. It is long. And on top of that, it's really not like a straight race. It's a marathon. You run to one place and then you run to a next place. It's not we're running and we just hit this finish line and that's it, right? So while this statement is true, this is an issue that I've been seeing with some things where, yes, it's true, but it's incomplete. This is an incomplete truth, right? So for example here, everybody in that specific race, to that goal, they might have those boons. But somebody told me what's wrong with getting a scholarship on your own physical merit. Is that not a boon that you have? Is that not what do you call this thing now? Is that not an advantage, a privilege? I mean, in technicality, I know these guys here were either late high school or college, but in that technicality, nothing they had done gave them those genetics to get that fast. Like, I don't know if you've gone over genetics research, but black people and Hispanic and a lot of people of color tend to just be better physically than many of the other generic races, where this is why we have a lot of Jamaicans bringing the $100 meter sprint, not $100 meter sprint. Why Kenyans are the ones that are wrecking it in the insane long distance. This is genetics that have gone over years and years and years and years of evolution in that sense. And there's nothing wrong with that, right? So the truth that I'd like to say here isn't that he's wrong, but that it's incomplete. Here's the thing, everyone in life has a loadout. They have a loadout. They have a bunch of things where you didn't choose this, you just got born into this, right? I didn't choose to be born Nigerian. I didn't choose that. I just was. I just happened to be in a Nigerian man, and he happened to ejaculate into a Nigerian woman, and I popped out Nigerian. Bam! That's it. So that is my boon in senses. I can go and do things and not have to worry so much. Let me also be clear about that. It's not I don't worry at all. I worry less about specific things. Also, as I am a male, I worry less about specific things. That doesn't mean they're gone. Like, the amount of times I heard, yo, you guys are privileged, you don't have to worry about walking down the street and getting beat up. I worry every single time that someone is gonna mistake me for Tyson that owes them $300 and is gonna just shoot me and then go, oh, wait a minute, that's not Tyson. Oh well, he's dead. Nothing that we can do for him now. Or, oh, we beat up the wrong guy, but he saw our faces, so if we let him live, he's gonna turn us in. Or, oh crap, we beat up the wrong guy. Well, screw him, he was in the wrong place at the wrong time. I can get beat up just as much. Or I think my personal favorite, I had somebody that was like, you know, don't let me go out in the middle of the night. You know, what's gonna happen if someone comes at me? And I'm like, what's gonna happen if someone comes at me? And they're like, you know, you're gonna fight them off. And I'm like, I mean, sure, but if they have a knife, I'm gonna get stabbed. If they have a gun, I'm gonna get shot, just as plainly as you are. If they come at me with their fists, I'm not going to fight them. I am going to run, because I don't know what they have on them. And if you do anything different, you are just endangering your life, right? So coming back to this loadout thing, there's nothing that I did that has blessed me with the gifts that I have, right? Like I have a couple awards from being in best bandsman. I didn't decide, you know what, I'm gonna go in and join a band and be in cadets. No, my parents put me in that. I didn't decide that I was gonna take soccer as my first sport. My parents exposed me to that. I didn't think about hockey till my parents exposed me to that. These are all things that, this is nothing of me. This is what my parents have done for me, what someone before me has done for me. Now, my job is to make choices and to go forward with whatever choices that I make. That is me. But everybody in life has a loadout. And that's just it. It's a loadout. You know, like, and I liken a lot of things to video games. So a loadout, like in Halo, you could have the loadout of a DMR and a assault rifle, and then never use that assault rifle because you think the assault rifle is a piece of garbage. But that's your choice. That's your problem. You have the loadout. In the same sense where we have white kids that have never had to worry about, as he was saying in the thing there, you never have to help mom and dad with the bills. That doesn't mean that they're the utmost privileges. What if dad's not there? What if dad has literally just never been there and he's providing with the money? This is actually someone else's story, to be deadly serious. I don't even remember this girl's name. She wasn't white, but she was privileged in the sense that her dad was never around, but he paid everything. This guy was he had money, and he was like, she was like, I never had to want for anything because my dad would just give me money. He would just throw money at it. He would never be there for me, and so I hate him for it, but he just, you know, if I needed a car, I had money for a car. If I needed food, I had money for food. He'd always be able to give me money. He'd send it via whatever means he had to send it by, but he wasn't around. So she's privileged in the sense that she has money, but not in the sense that she had a father. You know, that's just her loadout. That's just what she was born with. And whatever you're born with, you have to run. And you know what? The thing, and this is the thing that, and he says this at the end, close to when everyone starts running, he goes, I guarantee you that if everybody was on the line, some of these black guys would smoke you right now. I mean, that could be true. If it was a medium, I think the mid-tier distance race, I don't think black people have that very well. Like I'm talking like maybe the 800, I'll have to double check that on a fact, but maybe like the 800 type of race, they don't run that well. Maybe now it's a little more even, where we're not talking about all slow twitch or all fast twitch. This is about medium. This is a little in between. I don't know how far that distance was in the thing there, but it had to be over 100 meters. Just from what it looked like, it had to be over 100 meters, but it wasn't that far. So maybe they would smoke them. Maybe they wouldn't. Maybe one of the other guys had hard work, and that's another thing, you know, loadout. You can choose to do hard work. You can beat some of those black people too. Genetics is good, but if you don't put it to use, it's reckless. It's useless. So let's, you know, don't follow this incomplete truth in that sense. The complete truth is that everyone is born with something different. And that's just what it is. It's not the same. It is different. And what you choose to do with that, whether you choose to acquire more, you pick up stuff, or whether you choose to just use what you have, or a little bit of in between, that is up to you. But everybody has privileges. For example, some of those girls just can't run as fast as the boys. That is not their necessary, in that race, that is their detriment. But that in and of itself, and that's an oxymoron, that in itself is not, anyways, sorry, don't mind my English language, because English language mess up. That isn't bad. Just because you are a woman doesn't mean that's bad. Just because you are black and you have come from an impoverished family where you might not know where you get your next meal from, maybe that means you're just better at scavenging. You can use that to get further in life. Oh shoot, I know how to use this. I did this when I was in grade 2 because we didn't have this, so we just have to make do with what we do. What if I put this on a mass scale? Could I help people with this? You know, it is an incomplete truth to just say you guys are privileged and you need to look back and recognize someone's privilege. Mind you, his statement is not incorrect, because you should be able to empathize with people. At the very least, to a degree, you need to be able to empathize with people. You need to be able to look at someone's situation and say, you know what, I'm not going to act in this particular way, or I'm going to do something this way or that way because I understand privilege. And most of these kids understood privilege. I don't know if you were watching the entire video, but as he kept saying stuff, there were some of them, I think it was a couple guys that I saw in the video, they started taking smaller steps. They're like, I don't like where this is going. I know exactly where this is going. I don't want to be having this advantage. But it is not your job to throw away that advantage either. Right? Like, the playing field is, it's weird to say. I don't know if the correct term would be level. I don't believe the word is level. I believe the word is fair. The playing field is fair. Because if you were back on that line, if it was everybody on the same line, some people would win every single time. Right? If right now, and we've had a couple of these types of weird things where people are like, oh yeah, you know, us against them. If it was an us against them mentality and we're talking with guns, sorry, the white people are gonna beat us for the most part, almost every single time. If we're talking about just strictly guns, now the white people are gonna win. If you're talking about muskets, a little bit later back then, y'all never know, the native Indians might still kill us, cause yo, they wrecked that game. Like, the native Indians turned tides in 1812 and in the States for the Civil War too. Like, that's kind of what Assassin's Creed was based on, if anybody played that. One of the Assassin's Creed ones on that. If it comes to a war based on dance, good luck, white people. Sorry. Indians got over you. Y'all seen some of the Japanese people dance? Oh my gosh. Afros, the Spanish? I'm sorry. Like, it really depends on the facet, and that's what throws it out. That's what will show you whether you have a boon or not. So don't, you know, you have a loadout in life. You need to do what you can do best with it. And it's not your job to sit there and go, I have all these boons and this other guy might not have it, so I'm just not gonna do anything with it. You know, sometimes you can gift it away. Sometimes you can be like, you know what? I have 2 water bottles and this guy has none. I'm gonna give this guy a water bottle. Right? But that doesn't mean you don't drink water. That's disrespectful, straight up. You have a resource and you're not willing to share it, you just waste it. No, don't do that crap. Right? Like, I'm just, like I said, this guy's message isn't wrong. I just want to be clear about it. Right? Everybody has different loadouts. If we're talking old school, we're talking martial weapons only.